Yeah, let's get into this because I have some stuff to clear up.
Video.
I got some stuff I gotta say too.
The video did great, for real.
Not about that. No, I just have a story I want to tell, but I want to tell it because I'm not going to be able to talk to you guys before I tell it. I want to get your guys' perspective on it.
You want to start with that?
Yeah.
Great.
If we can. Yeah, is that fine?
Your podcast.
Well, it's not, but... All right, ready? Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today, it is February 24th. It's 3:40 p.m. Late episode today. Usually, I feel like we record at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Why are we so off of our normal times?
Not me. I mean, we were supposed to start recording at 3:30. I was here at 3... Tyler, what time do you think I got in? Probably around 2:50.
You've been upstairs the whole time?
Yeah.
You didn't
And then
feel
I hear you're taking a nice little walk to get yourself whatever that is.
Piss.
I
mean, I thought you'd be downstairs at your desk.
I don't have a desk.
Yes, you do. Well, there's a fantasy football trophy delivered to your desk.
Oh, that's where it is?
Yes.
I've been looking for it.
It's on your desk.
Never would have thought to look there.
You didn't think to text us that you were here when both of us have been here?
No, I actually didn't at all.
For hours, I'm gorging myself on bagels just out of boredom.
Do you remember when I texted earlier in the day?
First of all, this was the plan the whole time.
Hold on,
it wasn't
though.
like I told you guys I was going to be here at 10.
Do you remember when I said, hey, Sass, how are you looking on timing? Because I have a lot of shit I need to get done.
Dead asleep.
Well, then you texted back, you're on time.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that make you think that if you got here early, it might behoove us to know so we could start early?
Well, I assumed you were here. I assumed Rome wasn't, to be fully honest.
Well, he was here.
Oh, it's here.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, as far as I know, Francis came in right around 3:30, and you came in at 3:40.
I mean, you made an ass of you and me. That's what you did.
So I was just in Massachusetts, and I just flew back.
Mhm.
And this was what I wanted to tell you guys about. But so I don't know if let me know if this is crazy or not. But so I got sat in, it's the tiny plane. It's the Delta Connections, the shuttle. And I was in Comfort Plus. Totally fine with that. And there was one seat to be upgraded to, and in first class, and it was 1B. And I was first on the list. And then I scanned my boarding pass, and I was fully expecting to get upgraded. And then I didn't get upgraded. And I was like, oh, whatever. I mean, it's like a 30-minute flight, so I didn't really give a fuck at all. But I have all my luggage, and, I had my backpack under the seat. I had my duffel bag in the overhead storage, and I'm like headphones on, eyes closed, ready to take off. And one of the flight attendants comes up to me, and she's like, you got upgraded to 1B. And I was like, I don't want to sit. I was like, I don't want to sit there. I was like, can I stay here? And she was like, well, you're already in the system as sitting in 1B because we upgraded you. First, they just never told you at the gate. But like the overhead bins are all filled and stuff. And I'm like, I don't really want to sit up there and then have to like do that awkward thing where I have to like wait for everyone to get off and then go back to my seat or try to like barrel through. And then the dude next to me is like, can I take it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, dude, are you crazy? You don't want to sit in first class? And I was like, and this is like, there's people trying to board still, the flight attendant standing there. And I'm like, yeah, no, I really don't, to be honest. I was like, I don't like sitting in that front row. And it was like he was losing his mind over the fact that I didn't want the upgrade.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a crazy move?
I think you are the laziest person that has ever walked the face of the earth.
I don't think that's that crazy, though. I hate that seat because you can't put your backpack in that seat. They make you put your backpack in the overhead, but the overhead was already filled.
You invent the most specious reasons for not walking 5 to 10 feet.
I don't think they would. I had that thought in my head. I was like, if they upgrade me, I'm gonna try and stay. And then I got two Comfort Plus seats to myself.
Well, you didn't know that. That's completely lucky. But what did you check to see if there was overhead space, like in the front of the plane?
Yeah, there wasn't.
There wasn't.
There was none. They were already all closed.
So I guess that's not that crazy.
I don't think it's that
that's
crazy.
the reasoning.
Especially because I have my PlayStation in there, and I was worried that they were going to try and make me check my bag.
Look, I think that would have been the question. Is there any overhead space above the seat?
No. That was like my main reasoning for not. If there was, I
but did
obviously
you
would have
ask
taken
her?
it.
You didn't ask her though. You just
No,
assumed because it was closed.
No, because I boarded after, and there was already people in first class like scrambling, like trying to find somewhere to put their bag.
I think that's what you got to say. I'll move, but I just don't want to have to check these bags.
Yeah, no, I just said I don't want to have to move my bags.
And then in that event, sometimes what they'll do is they'll even take your bag and put it in that coat
Captain's
closet that's in the front. Yeah.
But sometimes they'll say that's completely off limits, as if
Mhm.
it's horrific that they
Yeah.
don't know other planes exist where the captain's closet's just getting used by everybody.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's my first. I've never declined a first class upgrade before, but
I think that for me, I would have known that there were probably people around me who, have never sat in first class.
yeah,
And that if I were offered it, I wouldn't want to dishonor their belief that it is what it is.
Oh wow! I thought you were going to say you would give it to them.
No. I would never. I would never give it.
I mean, first of all, I felt like the man for giving it to that guy. He was fucking fired.
Yeah,
up.
but
Probably a
he
truth.
was
fired.
He
up.
was like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
Because you're like, "Yeah, whatever. I don't even want it. It's not that great. I can't even put my bags. Blah blah blah. Look how far away it is."
I think you're overthinking the far away thing wasn't really much of a factor.
Well, you made it a factor because you said you didn't want to have to go all the way back to your bag.
No, I didn't want to do that because I had to do the podcast. So I was like, I don't want to have to be put in a situation where I'm gonna have to stand at the front of the plane while everyone's getting off.
Listen to this.
And wait until the
He's
first
now
7
saying
rows are.
he didn't want to be late for the pod by having to go wait for everyone to get
I have
off the plane.
texts to my family explaining it, and I said I have to get off the plane.
If
right
that's
when the plane
true,
lands.
then why did you not fucking text us when you got here 40 minutes early?
Because I didn't text you guys when I got here because I knew you were here and I thought you were going to come up.
You knew I was here?
We
No, I
don't
didn't
know
know you
you're
were here.
here. You come up to the 3rd floor, I think, right?
No, I go to the 2nd floor.
Yeah, and then you just go right up the stairs.
I just assume, 3:30, like people are going to be in there. Like I didn't
you
text
said you
Tyler
got
and
here at
Owen and say, "Hey guys,
2:50.
come start recording." They were
I
already.
can't
Me and
even-
Francis were downstairs holding court. We were fucking just ripping like the TikToks.
When have I ever texted you guys and said, "Hey, I'm up
Where
here"?
we
I'm
were
upstairs.
downstairs fucking just busting it up with all of our coworkers. We were about to start a union if they gave us 15 more minutes.
That's on you guys. That's on you.
We were
You
fucking,
can go unionize downstairs.
But
if
I'm
you
saying
want.
that we were down there like having the time of our life. If you would just peek your head around the corner, you would have heard our booming voices on our soapboxes talking about
I assumed
the
you guys were
commune.
already up here waiting for me, so I just barreled right up. And I also had to take a big shit, which I already explained to Francis pre-podcast. So you should know from that I was that was the reason I wasn't saying come up.
I don't even know I don't know what it's like trying to talk to you. It's because it's like you have the maturity and the wit of an adult with the reasoning of a child. And it's a very powerful combination. Because you can't argue with you because I know I respect you.
This wasn't the
Logic is so fucking tangled.
This wasn't the point of the topic. The topic was to see if you guys would ever give up a first class seat.
I was willing to address the topic as you presented it
Yeah.
until you said that you knew you were going to be late for the podcast if you had to go back to get your bags, which was so at odds with what you told us as to about getting here at 2:50.
Well, realistically, I probably wouldn't have been late because I got here early regardless.
Well, then there goes that reason.
Yeah, but that was my mindset when I was on the plane. I couldn't predict the future.
I give up.
You've never had that problem where you're up front but your bags are in the back and you're like, fuck, this is gonna suck when we
Yeah, I
land.
think what I will typically do, especially if it's a really small plane, I know those planes, is I might pass the old
you
telephone.
know those planes. What are they?
There's 1 seat on the left and 2 on the right.
What's the name of the plane?
Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
CRJ 900.
Great. How many trains are you playing with later?
Just we can't be thrown out. I know those planes.
I am familiar with the layout of your plane. And what I would have done in that situation is I might have played the telephone game and passed the word back. How many seats back was your Comfort Plus to first? That's not many seats.
It's not
on
many
a small
seats.
plane.
It would have been 6 seats.
6 seats. You can get word back to someone. It's a duffel bag,
but it's
not
delicate.
even a roller.
It's fragile. There's
What's your
fragile
pass
shit
put
in
that
there.
in
Oh,
the
yeah?
information. Be
You
like
got a
the
bunch of
PlayStation's in
gorillas
there.
that are going to be banging it as they pass
pretty
it up
much,
to you.
yeah. You should see how they handle their roller bags.
I'm so sorry. I have a
They all have like
PlayStation
one
in
wheel
there.
hanging off of them.
Whatever it is, tell them there's glassware inside.
There's better than glassware.
Fine.
Plastic.
And you get word to someone 6 rows back. It's like at the end of Crocodile Dundee.
Well, you know, see,
Or like
that's what I
City of
didn't
Men.
like. That's what I didn't like was that when the guy took my seat, he goes, his first thing he says, he goes, "You're going to have to give me my bag though when we land." And I was like, "No, that's the reason that I'm not taking the seat."
You are such an asshole.
I mean, I helped him with his bag, obviously.
Right. And,
Yeah.
and that was totally fine.
Yeah.
And it proves Francis's point that it was possible.
Yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
could get his bag.
I don't know.
Wait,
I
was
had a
he first one off still, or did he have to wait for people
No,
to go
he
by?
was not the first one. I think I was off before he was.
So he waited for you to come by with his bag.
Yes.
Is that true?
He waited like he was not even close to the first person off. Because
Wait,
he had
hold
to go
on.
back and
Yeah.
get his bag, and then he had to go back and get his carry-on.
But you said you
or his other
brought.
bag.
Oh, you only brought one of his bags?
He had 2 bags. He had one that was in the overhead, and then he had the backpack that was under the seat, which he had to put above somewhere. I don't know where he put it. He was scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him. I gave him one of these.
Which also proves that there's a space for your backpack to go up ahead if you
no,
went to
because
the
his
front
bag
row.
wasn't right above him. I told you his bag
Yeah, it
were all
wasn't
over
right
the
above
place.
him, but there was a space
Dude, he had
for
one.
him.
He had one bag in 5B, and he had one bag in 38F.
I'm gonna go ahead right now. I'm gonna say you're lying.
I'm lying
I
about
think
what?
I think you're lying. I think you've made up lies to now.
Are you
make
adding?
this-
I texted you guys and I said I got a good story I want to talk about. On
Yeah,
the
but
pod.
now we are deep into the weeds, and you are adding more weeds.
There's weeds have been added. I'll admit it.
There you go. There you go. Because we found
I have
solutions.
no idea how many bags he had.
I'm so onto you, you fucking cunt. I know you.
But he was not the first person off the plane, and I was off before he was. 100%.
Wait, you just made up the thing about the 2 bags.
Well, I found myself in a hole that I was
So
clearly
specific.
losing, so I had to start adding in details.
I know you. I know your game. I know your game.
I thought you were just exaggerating that it was 38F. I didn't know you were making up bags.
No, he did definitely. He had a carry-on. I don't know where he put his other bag. I know he had a bag above me though.
When you talk to like the rest of the people in your life, do they just take everything you say at face value? Because I feel like you came in expecting to tell this story and have us be like, yeah, that you made the right call.
No, but that's usually what happens. Usually I come in with that idea and then you guys just shit all over it.
I don't
Usually I
shit on
come in with, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good topic for the story. And then it all of a sudden starts coming down to like how I'm a bad person.
Yeah, but if we just agreed with you, then it wouldn't be. And
no,
I'm not,
also to answer your question, no, that doesn't happen to me in real life because I'm not trying to be funny when I'm talking to people all the time.
fair enough.
Trying to be funny on the podcast.
Delete this. Delete that part. Do not
Why?
let people know you're trying to be funny.
On the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am. That's the goal of the show.
I think a lot of people's illusion is just that you're just like living your life as you live your life.
Well, some of the things are like the thing about me recording my outfits was, for some reason, people were like really riled up about that. I still don't get why.
I told you they would be.
Yeah, people were saying I was gay.
I didn't think that.
There were people calling me gay, a gay man,
You're gay.
a flamer. Some were saying
Yeah, you're gay.
it hurt. You know what that does to me? Makes me upset.
No,
Not that there's anything wrong with being gay.
but it's just a
It's a
misrepresentation.
misrepresentation of who I am as a person.
Did you do the outfit check today?
No,
You said you have thousands of videos.
I
Why
do,
would
but I told you. I
assume-
told you if it's an outfit that I've already worn multiple times, I don't need to check.
Play
I wore this
this.
on the Monday episode last week.
With the Red Sox?
No, I don't think I wore the Red Sox. Someone could check. I might have.
No way. What, you washed your socks in between then? No
Yes,
way.
I washed my clothes at home yesterday.
Oh, so those are fresh socks, so it could be the same socks.
It could be the same socks, yes.
Because if you wash them, that would be the bottom of one pile, top of the next pile.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. So when I wash my clothes, it's just all one pile.
Fair
There's
enough.
no bottom or top.
All right, I have a.
There's sides.
Do you want to? Is there more? Is that good? You
No,
feel good?
no. Well, let's just start here. Honestly, scratch that.
Wait a minute. I think there's some fairness to your decision. You knew that you cannot put your bags under your seat. You're already settled. It's a very short flight.
Yeah,
It's not the craziest thing to not move.
that's all I wanted to hear. I don't know why I'm just hearing this now, though.
We just have to
Well,
get to the bottom of it.
I think initially I was trying to answer in a funny way myself, which was to say
Ah,
that
the truth comes out.
you're making the blue collar guy feel.
He was not blue. He was wearing a suit.
Yeah, but that's a Men's Warehouse suit.
It was Men's Warehouse for sure.
Because
That
he's
was
stunned that
a
anyone
Red
wouldn't.
Cross suit.
Yeah, he's stunned that anyone wouldn't take the upgrade to a first class seat on a flight to New York from Boston, which is 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah, but I think I ended up getting the better seat.
Could be.
Because the dude in the aisle next to me was when there's randomly there's like another pilot on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pilot and he had 2 Comfort Plus seats to himself, and I'm assuming they probably asked him if he wanted to sit first class.
No, they never give the pilots that.
Really?
Not really. As far as I've ever seen, they never put the pilots that are, jumping aboard.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But me and him, we were comfortable.
It probably changed that guy's life who got upgraded to first class.
He didn't get upgraded. I still got upgraded.
But who sat in first class that day?
Him,
As he
but
wore
I
his
am
suit into the
registered.
big
I
city.
actually kind of was worried about that. I was like, can they scratch that upgrade from my record? Because I don't want them thinking like, well, because maybe next time they're gonna be like, well, he got upgraded last week, so we're not gonna give him one.
It's not
It
his
would
turn.
be more like he got upgraded, but he didn't take
Accept.
take it. This
They
is
were
a guy who
shocked.
doesn't
They were
appreciate
stunned.
when we do nice things for him. It's the same reason I would never buy you a gift.
But it's not. They're not. First of all, they're not doing nice things for me. I got upgraded because I give them boatloads of money.
That's entitlement.
How is that entitlement?
You're entitled.
That's not entitlement.
You're saying I got upgraded because I deserve to be upgraded.
I got upgraded because I fly more than everyone else on that flight.
Entitlement.
That's not entitlement.
That's
That's
entitlement.
the truth. That's how the system
You're
works.
saying you deserve to be upgraded more than that Men's Warehouse guy.
I know that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying I obviously was upgraded first because I think I was the only Diamond Medallion member on the flight.
Big assumption.
That's a crazy assumption.
Then why would I checked in like an hour before the flight and I was instantly bumped up to number 1.
Are these going to count for your MQMs, the first class MQMs? Because there's a multiplier on the MQMs if you sit in first class, right?
Yeah, but they don't give you. They only give you the original price of the ticket.
Oh, really?
They don't give you more MQDs as a result of
I thought you were getting
being
more
upgraded.
MQDs.
No. It won't affect my MQDs. MQMs don't even really exist
They
anymore.
don't exist anymore. It's all MQDs.
I haven't been
guy.
flying this year.
This
I
guy.
haven't been flying yet. I've been landlocked.
Kind of feel like, why do I see you plateauing at silver this year?
I really might. I really might. I wish there was rollover miles.
All right. Well, speaking of credit, let's talk about the stakes really quick.
Okay.
I want to talk about the stakes. First of all, brilliant setup from Roan.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Roan.com. Show's flying. It's going to be bigger than Son of a Boy Dad in a matter of weeks.
It's not true at all, but
Better not be.
it's hilarious that I'm getting any credit for doing this video when it was just you two just being hilarious and cooking steaks. I didn't do anything or anything funny. I just kind of stood there in the background.
Well, that's
put my
like
name on the group project.
that's like saying that America's Got Talent would be just the same without Nick Cannon. We all know he's the secret sauce.
Is he on America's Got Talent?
Terry
like
Crews, probably Terry Crews, or is that The Voice?
He's
Can't
like the
keep track.
side. He's on the sideline. He's like on the side stage, and he always has like their mom and like stepdad there. Like, look, he's about to do it. He's
Yeah.
about to make it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But I
we
thought it went well though, and you guys. I mean, there's a lot of people kind of lobbying for both of your steaks to have tasted better, which is a crazy thing to lobby for if you never.
I don't think
tasted it.
anyone was. I didn't see anyone lobbying for mine.
A lot of people are.
Everyone, the people in Boston, everyone that came up to me, the first thing they said they were like, "Dude, you do not know how to cook a steak."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. I was like, what about did you like the show? 'Cause I was like, I just put everything I have into that show. And all they wanted to say was talk about the steak video.
Yeah.
Did it move tickets though? Did it move numbers?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Weren't the shows already sold out?
Yeah,
Dude, I got you sold out in Boston off that video.
I know. Pretty crazy.
Least I could do. But I mean, I think that it's important to note that, well, I don't know, maybe if there is a debate about it, that everybody tried the steaks and everybody thought Francis
Everyone,
was
yeah,
better.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Owen was pulling for me, and then he took a bite of it, and then he spit it out.
Well, he was choking.
Yeah.
He's a vegetarian now as a result of what he tasted from your steak. But here's the thing, ready? So Roan set up this fun idea that whoever won would get to choose how much of the cash they took home. And he had laid it all out in a big bundle. And Sass had been, up my ass the whole time, talking a ton of shit, putting my brain in a blender, causing me to misread the meat thermometer, probably bring my steak to a medium instead of a medium rare, which is what I ultimately wanted. Just very distracting, hurtful.
Medium's a stretch.
It was medium. There was pink.
Well done.
No, wasn't. You're out of your mind. I don't even want to. There's nothing you can
I've
say. Your
literally
steak was
never
such
seen
a
a steak
disaster.
of that shade.
I've never seen someone cook a steak the way you did.
Well,
which is
yeah,
to say
clearly.
in like fucking chunks.
That's
You
honestly
cooked it in chunks.
That's honestly, I will not lie. I've cooked many steaks like that before,
Go
where I've
figure.
cooked them and I've been like, nah, that's completely raw, and then just throw them back in halves.
It's not that hard. You should do it the way I did. That's the
With the
basic way
thermometer.
to do it.
Yeah,
No. Sear both sides in a cast iron and finish in the oven.
You shouldn't have even
yeah.
used
I
the
don't
thermometer.
have an oven.
Yes, you do.
I swear on my life,
Dude,
I
if
do
you
not
don't have
an oven.
An oven? You don't have an oven.
You've been to my apartment. Did you see an oven?
I saw you have burners,
I have burners.
and there's no oven beneath
Where would
that?
there's a refrigerator beneath it? Where would the oven be?
You have a refrigerator beneath your burners?
I told you I have a hot plate. That is all I have is a hot plate.
I have never heard of the hot-cold hybrid burner
Dude, I could
refrigerator
unplug
appliance.
my burners and pull them off of the counter.
In order to do what?
I'm just saying there's nothing, like they're just hot plates.
You have 4 hot plates?
2.
Only 2.
I don't even have 4.
Are they coils?
No.
Bro, what is your set?
Dude, it's literally a hot plate. You know
How
how
did
you can
you
buy
sign
you know
this
how you
lease?
can buy a hot plate?
How did you sign this lease?
Because I didn't care about having a stove.
That's such a basic commodity.
I have like one of those like
in an
advanced microwaves.
Wait. That came with the apartment?
Yeah.
You also have a fireplace.
Yeah, true. I could put them in the fireplace. Throw the steaks over the fire.
Just wrap them in tin foil and chuck them in the fireplace like
That
a baked
fireplace
potato.
is not active.
Oh my god. Somehow I'm gonna get fucking mocked for being like classist for assuming that you would have an oven. But to me, that is
I've had an oven in every other apartment I've lived in.
that's such a basic. I think that's as basic almost as like having a shower.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I guess you're just not baking. I mean, ovens are.
It had like the microwave claims you can bake in it.
it's probably a convection microwave.
I don't know, but I don't know if I trust that
All right,
to
let's
be
leave
like
it there.
throwing steaks in the microwave.
No, you're not doing that. Well, it'd
In a
probably be
cast
better than the
iron?
way you
I think you
fucking
can
cooked
air
it.
fry steaks.
I think if I put a cast iron in my microwave, it would explode.
Yes, you can't put metal in your microwave. I don't think.
Definitely not.
We don't know. We don't know what kind of microwave it is.
That's how you ignite a home after you've ripped the gas valve out and the bad guys are coming in after you. You throw a cast
that
iron
scene
pan
in
in the
The
microwave and
Departed.
set it to baked potato,
Yeah.
and then you haul ass.
Set it to bake. There is a baked potato setting for sure.
Yeah. So okay, what was I gonna say? Well, okay. So I went in and I took the money. And he said it was like $500+. I know exactly how much it was. It was like I don't even, was it 500?
No,
It was 600.
No, but how much I took.
I have no idea.
It was up 400 something.
Yeah, 400 something.
I said at $86. It was. I didn't take the time to count it, and it wound up being.
Yeah.
There were $116 left over, so you took probably.
Oh, really? Wow, that's bad.
Well, I only took
Was it,
5.
or maybe it was more than.
I thought I left you more. Point is, I took whatever, all that amount, and then you went in and took $5, and you came out and said you wanted to leave the money for the crew.
Yeah.
And you got the credit for being the generous Mr. Sasquatch that the world thinks you are, which is the biggest load of horseshit of all time.
Why?
Because then you just walked out.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't
counted out stacks of my money and handed each person $50.
Look, that's you going over the top because you saw that I did a good.
I had no fucking idea you had said that.
I had a great
and you never
gesture.
gave any money to anybody.
Look, I didn't need to put it in their pockets.
Did that extra loose money get rounded up and brought to the crew?
No, Sass got it and took it home.
Bingo.
Not even close to
Yeah,
true.
you used that to
Blatant
upgrade yourself
lie.
to first class
Blatant
and then
lie.
pretend.
That's like I could take you to court over that. That is
Dude,
a
try
lie.
it. It's
You are
all on
putting
video.
mustard on my jacket and ruining my reputation.
On video. What are you
It's not on
talking
video.
about?
I didn't take dog shit.
You
I don't even
said
think I took the $5. To be honest, I think
no, you definitely took the 5, and then you took the rest of it. And Francis doled out stacks of $51 bills.
This is exactly
each
what
crew
happened.
member.
I walked in. Roan said, "I let Francis decide how much you guys get to decide how much you think you deserve." And I said, "I think I deserve $5." And then my exact words were, "I took $5 like Trump taking $1 for his salary as president."
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he did that this time around. I think he did that the first time around.
This time he needs the money.
He needs the money this time. But and then I said I left my, and I think I was just talking out of my ass. I said I left it for the crew.
Yeah, and then everyone gave you credit for being magnanimous, but the truth was that you were not magnanimous.
I saw him take one of the $50 stacks that you had put out for the crew.
No,
He was counting himself as a writer on the show.
Yeah, well,
No, definitely.
I
didn't
don't
do that.
mind if you took that $50 stack if it means
I
you can
didn't
buy
take-
yourself a fucking oven, which
I
is
didn't
probably
take-
what they cost.
I don't think ovens cost $50.
You
The
could get one on-
Easy Bake Oven is basically a child's toy.
Well, I have a. Oh no, I guess that's still a burner.
You could probably get one at a yard sale.
An oven?
Yeah, I'm not
I
even
mean,
kidding.
they've got to
you.
be pretty tough to move.
Let's start inventing reasons why you can't get an oven.
Or just why don't you put it on the fireplace?
Where am I? I think there's pretty clear reasons as to why I haven't bought an oven. Where am I gonna put the oven?
In the fireplace.
Just in my living room?
Put it in the fireplace.
Just throw it in the smack in the middle of the living room.
Look, man, I don't know how you arrange your apartment, but all I know is that you said you had no room for a mirror. Now you're telling me there's no room for an oven.
There's no
Next,
room
you're going to
for
tell
an
me
oven.
there's no room for me to come hang out.
There isn't. There definitely isn't.
Mhm.
But you got
Especially
the
after
biggest
today's
couch known to
performance.
man. You have a fucking wraparound
Oh
couch.
yeah, nice couch. It's a big couch, right? Good couch.
It's huge, but
It's a good couch.
Perfect place to sleep if you're in town
It is.
to see a friend hosting SNL.
Yeah.
I mean that is true, but I don't. That you could have used a smaller couch and put the rest of the shit in your apartment.
So you think if I went like with a smaller couch, I could have just thrown an oven in the middle?
I think
Look, you think the couch was taking up the oven space?
Yes, you have a wraparound.
Where would the oven go?
Your couch trickles down your hallway and fucking
it
curls
doesn't.
into your kitchen.
I have a 3-person couch.
Let me ask you something. Can I ask you an honest question?
Yes, you
I want
can.
you to just drop all pretense for 1 second.
Yes.
I want you to look me in the eye
Yeah.
and talk to me straight.
Okay.
Are you going to take any of the stuff that he and I say with you forward in life?
What? Like, give me an example of what I should be taking forward.
I
How
don't
you
know.
cook the steak?
That you should have a full-length mirror. That you should have an oven.
Dude, the oven, I don't think you guys are understanding the oven situation. Where would I put an oven? We're acting like an oven is something that you just like put in your pocket.
I think that
It's the size of my kitchen.
You get an
would be
inflatable oven.
Like, I don't know.
I think
I'm aware I should have an oven. There's nothing I can do about
these
that.
among many of the sort of lessons that we have countered against your very opaque logic over the years. And my question is, at some point, this strange world that you live in, is not going to make sense anymore as a 28-year-old, as a 30-year-old. No
I'm
oven,
sure I'll
no
figure.
mirror.
I'm sure I'll figure that out by the time that I'm 30. But
But
there's
you're
no.
not. You're not figuring it out. You're,
I'm,
and
'cause
that's
I'm not
fine.
30. I'm 7 years until I'm 30.
I love it because it cracks me up and it's endearing. However, at some point, I will start to worry about you.
I think at some point dudes just get married and like a oven and a mirror disappear in their house.
Good. Okay,
I really think
That's fair.
what happens to dudes.
that's fair.
I get the mirror thing. Like I get, like, yeah, I should have a mirror. First of all, I have a mirror. There's a mirror in my bathroom. It's just a face mirror though. But so don't say I don't have any. It's not like I have no. It's not like there's no way of me
Face
seeing
mirror.
myself.
Mhm.
And I have a phone. And then the oven. It's just.
And
I mean,
have a phone.
you guys have been to my apartment. There's nowhere for me. I didn't even know you could do that in New York City.
What?
I didn't know you could just buy your own oven and put it in the apartment.
You head over to Black & Decker, go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. Get a nice oven. They sell ovens.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get an oven.
You could get one of those.
I'll go buy an oven and figure out where that's gonna go.
You could get one of those
Just on the carpet.
bread ovens, those toaster ovens,
Yeah,
and you can cook stuff in that. You should get an air fryer. Air fryers cook everything,
Yes.
yeah.
but you don't cook.
But I don't cook.
So then we'll do away with this conversation.
Yes,
But can you promise me that in your next home that you move into?
I just re-signed my lease
Great.
like a week ago.
You did?
Yeah,
Did they bump the price up on you?
$100.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
They know it's a piece of shit.
it's not a piece. It's actually a great apartment.
They're getting away with charging you multiple thousands of dollars a month, and they have not given you an oven.
It's a great space. It's in one of the nicest neighborhoods.
I
in Manhattan.
genuinely believe that they are illegally renting you your apartment.
because I don't have an oven.
And because they rob every piece of mail that comes through
That
the
is
door.
true. They do that.
That's vicious.
I wonder if that is legal for you not to have some means of cooking.
Dude, the
food.
first apartment that I was gonna rent had it didn't even have a sink. Like when I was moving to New York, like if you think my apartment is like on the lower scale of apartments,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying because there is space and
They
it
didn't
is
have a sink.
good light.
dude, it was
And there's
literally just a room.
You have a decorative fireplace. You have good stuff. I lived in an apartment that was smaller than yours when I lived in New York when I was 24.
Yeah, I've lived in multiple that are smaller than mine. This is the biggest apartment I've ever lived in.
I'm not saying it's a bad
It's got
apartment.
a huge couch.
It's got a big living room, and it's got a long hallway that is unnecessarily long and a very small bedroom.
And a fireplace that has wood in it.
No, there's no wood in the fireplace.
Didn't there used to be wood?
Do you have a bed
Yes.
off the ground?
Yeah.
When'd you get that?
When did I get a bed?
Uh-huh.
The day I moved in. When it got off the ground
Oh, that's the question.
was probably 8 months later.
Because when I saw it, I don't think you had a frame.
No, I think I would have. By the time you guys went to my apartment,
How far off the ground is it?
2 feet.
Okay.
Just a standard.
Do you have a box spring?
No.
It's a platform bed?
Yeah.
Nice.
How'd you get the platform? How'd you elevate it? You did it on your own, or did you call over some of the guys to come help you pick it up?
No, I did it by myself.
Yeah.
Was that something you would call your friends over to do?
Well, it's awkward. It's awkward to pick up a single mattress on your own. Your room is like it's a little bit narrow.
It's really actually not.
Okay.
You just pick it up and you put it against the wall, and then you set up the bed frame, and then you just take it and you just tip it over, and it falls right onto the frame.
I know you killed this weekend in Boston.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you got some oven money in there.
Yeah, could buy 10 ovens.
I just feel it radiating off you that you crushed this weekend.
No, I did fine.
You definitely crushed.
I mean, I crushed. I would say.
If you crush more than 2 shows,
Oh,
Then-
definitely crushed more than 2.
then
I'd say
you crushed.
I would say 3 of the 5 I crushed. The first 2 were fine, but everyone. And then after the Friday early show, I was like, that sucked. But then everyone else was like, no, it was really good. And I was like, I don't think it was. And then I brought it to the next level.
Act outs,
Usually I mean,
humping the
yeah,
stool.
it was an out of body experience.
Did you hump the stool?
I was throwing the stool. They had to get a new stool because I broke the stool on stage.
That's how hard you went?
Yeah.
Fuck. When's your guys' New Brunswick show?
March 8th.
March 8th.
I gotta get out to that.
You should. It's fun.
You know, I'm gonna tip you out really nicely.
Tip me out?
Yeah.
I don't need tips. I'll tip you out.
You want to pay me to do my show? Okay.
You should.
I'll take it.
It's a good opportunity for you.
To get tipped out?
No, to get on his show. You should tip him out.
Well,
pay
I'm
to
already
play.
doing it.
Yeah, pay to play.
Yeah.
You should be tipping his ass out.
I'm gonna tip you out with oven money.
How are you going to get there?
Tesla?
Drive.
I think I'm going to rent a car
Why?
so I can lock in.
Not ride with me.
So you could practice your bits at full voice in the car right now.
I actually have to drive to my goddaughter's birthday, which is in Philly earlier in the day, and then I'm going to be coming back from there. If you want to take the train, I'll pick you up at the train station, and then I'll drive us back and drop you at your house.
A wrinkle has been thrown in the New Brunswick shows. No ride.
You just said you were
No
going to
ride
rent
from the
a
headliner?
car.
No ride from the headliner?
You
What
want
the
to come
fuck
to
is
Philly?
this?
You want to come to a
Yeah, I'll go.
2-year-old's birthday
I'll
party?
go. So what time's the birthday party?
It's 2:00 and it's in a trampoline park.
Sounds
you-
awesome.
2 years old is a little bit no man's land for gifts, though.
I got a really good gift.
What'd you get?
Can't say. She hasn't opened it yet.
She's a
listens.
listener.
She listens. This is the white noise to which she falls asleep.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you got to go to this birthday party. Otherwise, no New Brunswick show.
Who else is going? Not to the party. I'm talking about to the show.
I really thought that's what you meant.
No, who's going to the show? Who's like hosting?
Her
Probably
friend
Brandon.
Mary Kate.
Does
Yeah.
he have a car?
I don't know.
Well, why doesn't Francis take the train down to Philly?
You take the train down to Philly. I'll pick up the car. I'll pick you up at the train station.
You don't know how to drive.
I am such a better driver than you.
Now we go. There we
There
go.
we go. There's the
Rome.com.
next challenge. There's
That's the next challenge. It didn't take long.
Yeah.
What can we judge this on?
Do a fucking license test. Get a proper
Ooh.
licensed
That's a
person.
great idea.
Rules of the road.
Yeah.
And have us do a test to get our licenses. And
But are we
see
gonna
who
have to
does
do
better.
it in New York City, or are we gonna do it in? Can we do it in the suburbs?
Let's go do it in the suburbs.
Yeah.
I grew up in Maine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't do that. I can't do the parallel parking in the city. That's too much pressure.
You don't want to have like one in one area, one in the other, or we'll do it in the suburbs.
No, let's
We'll
just do it in
let's-
like a big parking lot somewhere.
If there's a parking authority in New Jersey or in like Long Island,
I don't
Yeah.
even think we need one. I think you could just do it. Where? Yeah, parking lot and cones.
That's not a bad idea. You ride along and you have the checklist.
Yeah.
I
well, I
think
need a
it'd be
car
easy.
where I can have a wheel and a brake, so I can
For him.
slam on the brake if somebody's fucking up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you ever seen the driving instructors that
Yeah.
have that? I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
one of those.
You're gonna need that for him because he's gonna show up high.
What? What?
All that weed you've been smoking.
No, I'm definitely.
Why would I show up high to the
'Cause that's your
driver's
life-
seat?
You don't
lifestyle.
take anything
Are you guys
seriously.
out of your mind?
That's 100% how you live
Are
your
you
life.
out of your fucking head?
And then you're gonna fail your test, and then you're gonna turn to Ron and be like, "Isn't there anything I can do?"
Oh,
I
that's
don't know if
crazy.
you've seen that
No,
new
that's bullshit.
porn that I
now you're
like,
taking it. Now you're taking it too far.
where it's I think
You
it's
crossed
called
the line?
bad driving instructor or something like that.
The bang bus.
No. They're all British for some reason. There's
I
bad
don't know. I don't
fake
watch porn.
taxi, fake agent. They're all great.
The bang bus? It's always a big ass taxi.
Why do I cite porn more than anyone on the show? I shouldn't be the
Because you're a
porn
freak.
guy.
Because you're a freak.
Well, those British taxis are almost built for porn.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean? There's just like a big ass space in the middle
Those
of
are
it.
huge. And they have seats. They have that little bucket seat that faces the other way.
Do they really?
Mhm.
That's weird.
Have you? Oh, bro, you gotta go to England, bro.
We should-
I've been to England.
It's
We
gonna
should
change your life.
co-headline in London
I
together.
would definitely
do
We
that.
should definitely do that.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Talk to me.
We've talked about this multiple
I
times.
forgot.
Maybe I pop out there with you guys, just do a little sightseeing.
Hell
Definitely.
to the yeah.
When are we saying for this?
2028.
For the Olympics?
Yeah,
Is that where they are in 2028?
No, I think they're in the U.S.
they're in the U.S. Aren't they in
L.A.
L.A.?
Wow.
And then the World Cup's in the U.S. too.
Wow. We finally.
It's
got
time
it.
to be. It's a good time to be
Isn't
an
the
American.
World Cup in New York City? Isn't it like at MetLife?
It'll be all over.
Got it. They don't just play all the games in one.
No, there's a lot of games.
They spread it out because in case of terrorism. It's like the
Understood.
lone survivor,
Makes sense.
just in case.
I watched The Brutalist yesterday.
Oh, I want to see that badly.
It's good. It's very long. You have to start it at the height of energy and focus.
It's a
I'm gonna have to
3.5
give
hour
this a
or
Google.
4 hour.
3.5. 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Who
The
is it? Who's
Brutalist.
the
Adrian Brody,
Looks
Guy
phenomenal.
Pearce. It's
I
pretty
do.
good. It's I don't know what to say about it. I'm kind of still
Actually, I have no idea
working
if I
my
do.
thoughts out about it. It's pretty upsetting,
Really?
but beautifully shot.
Is it about the Holocaust?
There are Holocaust themes. He's a immigrant survivor of the camps who comes over and has to sort of start from scratch, even though he was a heralded architect in Hungary.
And then they find out that he was making it all up,
No,
that there was no Holocaust at all, and he's just fucking.
that's
Fibbing.
exactly it.
Is
Yeah.
this did you see this in theaters or did you
No,
watched it on at home?
I watched it at home. It was probably $20.
$20.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a 3.5 hour movie.
True.
You
You're
get
getting your
back-
money's worth.
Yeah.
Big piece of meat.
You
By the
own
way,
that movie now, though.
I bought Oppenheimer at home, and I've watched it no fewer than 10 times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Really?
I've seen that
Probably.
movie like 6 times by
It's
now.
just when I'm on a flight and I forgot to, I have it downloaded to my phone. So whenever I forget to actually download new episodes or something else,
yeah.
I just revert to watching Oppenheimer.
That
That's
movie gets better every
that's
time I
Memento
watch
for
it.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Memento?
Or I watch it on my phone at every. I just have it downloaded, so I'll just watch it on planes. To the point where I'm just piecing together scenes of Memento where it's actually like Memento.
Memento was a little
That's
too
Guy
heady
Pearce,
for me.
right?
Yeah.
He's in this movie too.
Memento, what were you saying about
Was
it?
a little too heady for me.
Yeah, you couldn't keep up with your little brain.
I couldn't
Yeah.
with my stupid fucking head. Such a fucking idiot.
Are all Christopher Nolan movies supposed to be like that? I guess not Batman, but Tenet was tough. Tenet was too heady for me.
Can't watch it.
Tenet was too much.
Too
But
confusing.
Inception was just heady enough.
Yeah, I didn't think Inception was too hard to follow. Interstellar.
Too hard.
But I love that movie, but that movie's definitely
I had a hard time with
that's
it.
a confusing one. What else? What other movies does he have? Dunkirk. That one's hard to follow because I was falling asleep the whole time. Fucking trash.
I love that movie.
Nolan's worst.
Yeah. Well, what's his name says it's amazing.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
Quentin Tarantino's always yapping about something.
You're in a mood.
That's how you could tell he killed in Boston.
You're in a
Tarantino
mood
said
today.
that The Social Network was the best movie of the 2000s, I think.
I don't hate that take.
I don't hate it either.
Huh.
Love that movie. That's a banger. They don't make them like that anymore.
But you see Eisenberg's trying to distance himself from Zuckerberg. He's like,
How so?
I don't want people to associate me with that character. I don't want people to look at me and think of like Mark Zuckerberg at all. Like it's something I did, but I don't want the
Isn't
Do
it-
people
Isn't
think
it
of him
funny
like
that before it would have been, I don't want people to associate me with Mark Zuckerberg because he's this loser nerd. And
Yeah.
now it's like, I don't want people to associate me with him because he's starting to lean to the right and go on Joe Rogan's podcast and
Yeah.
learn jujitsu.
Yeah.
He's like cut his body fat down to 6%.
Yeah.
He's
is
become
ripped.
cool.
Yeah.
And now I don't want that.
Yeah.
It's a different class of people not wanting him.
I want to associate with Mark Zuckerberg. I want people to be like, you too? Were you guys in the same class? And I was like, yeah, I tried to talk him out of dropping out because even if Facebook hadn't worked out, at least he'd have his degree to fall back on. But he would not be deterred.
Wait, how old is Zuck?
Shows me how wrong I was.
How far off were you from overlapping with him?
Years.
Really? What is
Think
he in his
so.
40s?
Barely.
He can't be that much older.
I don't think he's 40 yet. Would be my guess. 40 on the dot.
Really? Looks
just-
great. Looks great for 40.
Yeah, so I guess but he dropped out
had
after his
19.
sophomore year or something
I
like
think,
that.
yeah. He was 19 when he dropped
So
out.
I would not have overlapped with him for any years, and he left 3 years before I got there.
Facebook coming out was a fucking.
But the Winklevoss twins stayed all the way through, and people, you could still feel them
Yeah.
on campus.
I'm sure you could probably feel their anger.
Just you could feel their presence. They were spoken of. They were talked about. They were big tunas.
And they're coming still.
Yeah.
They still want that bag.
They're
not getting it.
I once met.
Time to move on.
I once met the guy who was their third co-founder, the Indian
really?
guy, who's played by that actor in The Social Network, who's actually British, I think. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, not at all.
I think he's Indian. He's their third founder. With the Winklevoss twins.
There's a Pakistani guy.
Maybe that's what he is.
Oh, yeah, you're probably thinking of that.
You're probably thinking of a Pakistani guy.
No, I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's a Sri Lankan guy.
Do you know what?
Are you thinking of?
He's the guy.
Bangladesh?
He's the smaller guy who's with the Winklevoss twins, coming up with Facebook.
I vaguely
What's his
remember
name, Tyler?
No,
Oh.
that's Moskovitz is one of the Facebook founders.
He's talking about one of the guys that was working with the Winklevoss guys.
Yeah.
To find.
I met him
Facebook?
at a nightclub many years ago when I was a club rat.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking, and it did not take long for him to tell me how much money he made in the settlement.
How much?
Divya Narendra. That's who it is.
How much did he make?
That's who it is. I'm not going to say.
14 billion.
We could just Google it. Just tell us. How
No,
much he
it's
made.
not open.
It's not open?
No.
All right.
Settled for an undisclosed amount.
Billion?
No, they did not. That's why the Winklevoss twins re-sued.
Yeah, because they only got paid like 50 mil each.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they thought that the shares were counted at the wrong value in the settlement, whereas Eduardo made over $1 billion, and he would come back to campus and throw parties at the Phoenix, which is the final club that he was a member at, and he would just buy a whole bunch of bottles of like magnums of Belvedere. That was the thing. He would just supply all the booze and throw these parties.
So that's what Eduardo did after he got cut out?
Well, he's worth, he's got $1 billion, over $1 billion.
Yeah.
But now the Winklevoss twins are worth billions too because of their crypto holdings.
Yeah.
They've gone heavy into that.
Right, that's what we're saying. They're coming still. They're coming for Zuck.
You couldn't hold them back. Olympians.
It's not done. It's not done.
Yeah, but Zuck is worth like 100
I'm 6'5",
billion
230 pounds, and there's two of me.
Yeah, true. I hate that scene. I don't like when he says that.
What do you have against twins, bro?
Nothing.
Careful.
Well done. Well done,
I
Ron.
have stuff against Army Hammer.
I guess we know who the Godfather won't be.
Cross your name off the list.
I bet the Winklevoss twins are probably like, we don't want to be associated with Army Hammer. I mean, they got it way worse. They got double fucked. They just can't stop getting fucked. They got fucked out of Facebook, and then they were like, finally, at least like a hot, tall dude is gonna play us in the movie. And then they were like, shit, he's eating people?
He's drinking blood.
Well, speaking of eating ribs, I made...
Yeah, we were going to have Danny Masterson play you. Sorry, speaking of eating ribs.
I had short ribs. I made short ribs this weekend.
That's fun.
You ever do something like that?
Never.
It's hard.
Sounds hard. You smoke them?
I cooked them over the course of 5 or 6 hours.
Oh my God.
And then I put them in the fridge and left them overnight so that the next day I could scrape off a layer of fat that was probably an inch thick, which is pretty gross.
Yeah.
And I scraped all that off, but that makes the gravy much more concentrated and flavorful.
That sounds so nice.
And then I reheated it very slowly on a low flame. And then I served it over some cauliflower mash that I had made.
What'd you put in the cauliflower mash? Some butter?
Butter. I
Some
steamed the
milk?
cauliflower. I didn't use any milk. I didn't feel the need to. Butter, garlic, mustard, some Dijon, and salt, pepper. That was it. Pureed it in a food processor.
Do you ever get into smoking?
See, I've tried.
That would be a good birthday present for Francis to get him one of those green eggs.
I had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I used it all the time. The problem I had with the green egg was that it was just so labor intensive and so touchy.
Yeah.
That if you wanted to just do a simple grill of something, it was a ton of work.
Yeah.
I thought you talked about this before, getting rid of your green egg.
I did get rid of it. I sold it to a neighbor on my way out.
Would you like another one?
I don't know that I don't have the space for it.
How big is it?
They're big.
Like bigger than Rogan?
Let's put it this way: I can't fit my green egg in my living room.
Really?
You could fit a green egg in your living room, though.
They're that big?
How big do you think they
Yeah,
are? Don't you
dude.
put like a rack of ribs on it?
I thought it was
cook-
like the size of like the Rogan kettlebell.
You can cook pizzas on it.
Oh, damn.
Full pizzas.
Okay.
Well,
That
they
makes
make
more
different
sense.
sizes, but the one you want is probably the large or the XL.
What you need, low-key, is one of those indoor heaters, those like circular heaters, and just you cook some, like the indoor fire pits or
Oh, yeah,
Like
like
the
the
ink-
smokeless
yeah.
things. Don't you have one of those?
Yeah, I have one
Yeah.
of those.
You should use one of those and just throw one of those in your living room and kind of just cook over the open flame like that.
I feel like that would still be like pretty dangerous
Those can't be dangerous.
to just have one of those in the middle of my living room.
No, you could do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want that. I don't know if I want to be like playing video games and be like bumping into my fucking
Cauldron.
smokeless oven in the center of my
It's an
living
open
room.
flame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could see you standing over it with your fingerless gloves, warming the tips of your hands.
That would be nice.
Just pressure opening a can of beans like
Yeah.
the true hobo you are. You could always fall back on hobo.
I keep forgetting to bring in my jet boil and make these MREs.
I know.
We've been talking about doing this for months.
You have a jet boiler?
I have a jet boil.
What's that?
It's like a little mini. It's for camping.
That's
It
what.
just
You, that's
heats up.
how you cook.
No, but when you camp, yeah, like you can heat up water really
It's the
fast.
thing he
Right.
you
It heats
used to
up.
hook
It heats up a big thing
butane.
of water
Yeah, it's a
in
butane.
less than 60 seconds.
That's
yeah,
cool.
you got to come and make our MREs.
Yeah, I think we've talked about the jet boil for sure.
Why don't you make them on Thursday or Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll bring him in.
We got to have Dana on again sometime soon
hmm
before he moves to Chicago.
What? He's moving to Chicago? No. Is he so?
I fucking bet he does, dude.
He definitely will.
I don't know about that.
Fucking lib.
Wow.
You're saying that New York is the non-lib city and that he's moving to a lib city?
If there's a city that's more lib, Chicago's definitely more lib than in New York.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. Lib central out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find the video of my jet boil, but I'll show it to you after.
Yeah, show it after.
Cool.
That's
I'd
pretty
like,
sick.
I'd like to see that.
You'd like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm struggling, but like about like obviously I want to have more videos of you guys going head to head and stuff.
Well,
I
I think
don't
the
wanna
car
look at-
the car test will definitely be a good one, but that might be quick because I feel like
No, it's not that quick.
it takes like 5 minutes.
No, a driver's license test?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I mean I did it like 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
I remember it being probably at least half an hour.
Half an hour,
Yeah,
really?
we drove around.
Damn.
There's gonna be some driving around.
Really?
Yeah,
Changing
Ours was literally get in the car, do a 3-point turn, go parallel park, and then like
I
make
don't.
sure you know how to use your blinkers and your windshield wiper.
Am I crazy in thinking that I drove on the highway?
Yeah, definitely. Probably change lanes on the highway.
I had to go through intersections. We had to go drive to a place where it was a long sort of empty road in a residential neighborhood or whatever, and there was a straight sidewalk curb.
Yeah.
And I had to back up. That was the most challenging part of the test, was
the
to do the
3-point
100
turn.
No, the 100-yard backup, where you put your arm around the thing and you look back and you keep it straight the whole way.
Damn, no, we didn't have
The
to do
hardest
that.
part of mine was they like you when you had to put the car in neutral and let it roll into a lake and then break the window to escape. Well, I feel like it's one of the most essential parts that you're doing.
You had to cut the seatbelt off
Yeah,
of you.
Yeah.
It was
Unfortunately, you
brutal.
didn't have one of those hammers with the fine points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
had
have
to
a
use
ball
the
peen.
stiletto that was left behind from the last girl who tried
Right.
to pass the
Well, they had various things scattered through the car, and you had to kind of use them all.
It's just an escape room.
That would be awesome. It's like Navy SEAL training.
But you just burn a car,
They pre-jam your seatbelt.
pepper
At
spray
some
you.
point, the guy on the side just opens the door and rolls out as you're heading off a pier. Like in The Game. Have you seen the movie The Game
I think.
with Michael Douglas?
And is that the one where he wears like the mask at the end and they show like the videotape? I think I've seen that movie, and I think it's a fucking heater.
It's an unbelievable
It's kind of like
movie.
a thriller.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Point Break? See if
No,
you're-
I think you're thinking of Clockwork Orange.
I'm definitely not.
Maybe you're thinking of
No, I've seen this movie.
The Game with Michael Douglas,
Yes.
where his brother sets him up, and it's Sean Penn.
Yeah.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
But I was thinking of another movie.
If
we knew.
we do the driver's test, the other person would have to be in the back seat just to audit it.
Oh, and talk shit.
Well, I didn't say anything about talking shit, but I guess just to make sure that it goes off the same way.
Just bring a bullhorn, yell, make crazy loud distracting noises, clam bake the car.
We should get one that we can just wreck. Like for the beginning of the video.
What if let's
Like
just rent
parallel park and you just sail the car through a fucking brick wall.
let's just rent the car and then just return it after like 2 hours and it's just destroyed.
Like in CKY2K?
Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
get like the insurance. It's like, oh yeah, $50 of insurance.
Yeah.
Like we probably won't need it.
Yeah. Come back.
and just destroy.
Fucking all the windows are broken. Bumpers hanging off.
I was parallel parking.
No, I'm sorry. We drove by a opera practice.
No joke. The
Yeah,
hardest part of
I know.
the part of the test for me was the part that I was the most nervous for was when the windshield wipers and the headlights, because it's different on every car. Like it's generally the same, but like we were supposed to know like exactly where it was when we got in.
But didn't you
So I
bring
would,
your
like,
own
be in-
car?
No.
Oh, they made you use
We had
one
to
of
use
their
one
cars?
of their cars.
Oh, see, I brought my own car.
So we did like I would be in like my mom's car and I'd be like, all right, windshield wipers, headlights, all that shit. I know where it all is. And then you get in their car and it's like completely new layout and you're supposed to know immediately.
It's
Damn.
all right.
I failed once, but it was because my permit was destroyed.
Wow, you failed?
So I got there, I had a permit.
Just saying, I'm surprised you have the confidence going into this, having failed it.
Oh, so I didn't actually fail. I failed.
Here we
on,
go.
I failed.
Let's move that goalpost.
Well,
back.
I didn't. It wasn't like I fucked up the parallel parking. It was exactly how you would imagine I failed. I showed up and you need your permit because when you pass the test, they sign your permit and now that's your license until you get your license in the mail. And I showed up. My permit had been through the washing machine twice and it was covered in tape. And I tried to re-sign it with my name and it was just like all destroyed. And I got in the car for the test and they were like, absolutely not.
Question.
They were like, you can't take the test with this.
Question. Did it go through the wash in your wallet or were you just keeping your permit
No, it was in my
loose?
wallet. I think I destroyed it in my wallet.
I see.
Yeah.
You washed your wallet twice?
Yeah, something happened. It was fucking just like it was in it couldn't have been in less than 40 pieces.
I think you were carrying your permit
It was like
loose.
a puzzle. It was literally like a
It
puzzle.
just dissolved like
Yeah.
it was like a child's blanket.
There was so much tape on it.
You could have thrown it out of the window of a cargo plane to
Yes.
let the villagers know to evacuate.
Yes.
Right.
Damn, I didn't fail mine. I know that for a fact.
My dad did his in Manhattan and he failed 3 times. Because he had to parallel park in Manhattan.
That does sound harder.
We're well into 2025 now, which means New Year's resolutions are starting to become New Year's compromises. If one of your goals was to eat healthier, Tempo can help you stay strong with their delicious, fast, calorie-conscious meals made with real ingredients. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu fresh to your door. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes so that you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience. With new recipes each week that are made with real ingredients and nutrient-rich, they make it easier to help keep up with a healthy lifestyle. For a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/boydad. That's tempomeals.com/boydad for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/boydad. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Did you have a strong suit from a test taking perspective? Was there a subject or part of tests that you thought you were especially adept at?
No.
Oh.
Like, I mean, if I studied, I would do well. Math, I usually felt like I could like, I would not know what I was doing because I wouldn't pay attention. And then the test would come around and I would like, I feel like sometimes I was able to like teach myself how to do it.
Mm.
But then when I got to like a certain age, I was like, I no longer am smart enough to be able to teach myself like,
In real time.
yeah, all of these like algorithms.
Right.
The smartest I ever felt was like doing physics, like in like senior year of high school, like figuring out an equation or some shit like
Yeah.
that. And that stuff leaves you like the second that you stop looking at it.
Yeah.
It does suck that you don't really use math in the real world, like the shit that they teach you, because like when you know what you're doing in math and you get like the fucking sheet of of problems to solve, it's like actually pretty fun.
It's empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're like it feels like you're cracking code, so you're like, this is sick.
And imagine being actually great mathematician
yeah.
in like at a college level.
Yeah.
Or at like a post grad level
Yeah.
of like being great at math.
Yeah. That
Like,
was the smartest I ever felt. Was I had a math test and I didn't pay. I knew the test was coming up and I knew I hadn't paid attention at all the entire like build up to this test. And so the night before I studied for like 6 hours straight and I like aced the test. And I was like, damn, I'm just going to do that every time. I was like, I'm just not going to pay attention during class every time and just study hard as fuck the night before. And then the next time came around and I went to study and I was like, yeah, I definitely needed to pay attention in class. I don't even know what the fuck any of this is.
Mm-hmm.
It was like insane new formulas that I had no idea how to do.
But you were off the Adderall?
No, I don't think I was on Adderall at this point.
You
I stopped
say-
taking Adderall, I think, in 9th grade.
You say it's a shame that we don't use math in our real lives, but what I would say is that we don't, but the people I know
Yeah.
who were really good at math and followed it all the way through college and stuff
Yeah.
are the people I know who are making the most money of anyone I know.
Really?
Like people who like
By far.
people who like majored in math.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or were just adept at math. Maybe they were econ majors, but with a math heavy focus.
Yeah.
And actually applied math into their profession.
Yeah.
So they use a lot of math to this day.
Yes.
My only friends who use math to this day are like union laborers who have
Yeah.
to
Or like
Really?
drug dealers.
yeah. So a quarter is 3
Stringer Bell.
pounds.
Stringer Bell was good at math.
Yeah, good at business too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really use math anymore. Like I
Mhm.
still know PEMDAS, obviously,
I love whenever they serve up a PEMDAS on the timeline. Just to,
and it has people in a blender.
yeah, people get
Everyone
fucked
gets the
up by
wrong
some
answer.
PEMDAS.
I don't understand how people get the wrong answer. It's like, dude, it's just PEMDAS. It's so simple.
There's some hard ones. There are hard ways to present a PEMDAS problem. In fact, do you want me to draw you one?
Yeah, that'd actually be nice.
We got a whiteboard right there.
Give us some PEMDAS.
Like, yeah, but I don't know how good that's going to be for the podcast.
What we'll do? what else? You want to go back to talking about airplanes again?
Sort of, yeah.
You know who uses math? The airplane guys.
I also don't want to fail.
Yeah, you're scared to get the PEMDAS wrong?
Let's see if I can find a good.
Because I just said how dumb people are that they can't follow PEMDAS, and now I feel like I'm going to get it wrong.
No, bro, you're not
And I
gonna,
feel like
you
I've
know
already-
PEMDAS.
I feel like I've already taken a couple L's this episode. I'm not trying to stack them.
You have? I don't think you have. Or you doesn't seem like you're taking damage.
Oh, I am. I'm hurting over here.
No, bro, don't say that. It's probably just karma because you killed so hard in Boston this weekend.
I know.
I know you and Mook were doing some maths at the 7-Eleven late night.
I got Burger King. I went full mook on Saturday night.
No,
Wow.
He's still here. The mic probably just picked up the noise my stomach's making from the Burger King.
It's gurgling still.
Dude, I've said it before, but since I stopped drinking, the most hungover, like the thing that's replicated a hangover the most, more than anything, has been when I get McDonald's or like real fast food. Not like if I get like Papa John's or like Popeyes or something like that. I'm talking like Burger King, McDonald's.
Beef.
If I get McDonald's or Burger King at night, the next day I feel like I drank 40 beers the night before.
You feel it in your head?
I feel it in my head, my skin, my stomach, everywhere. Like yesterday, the whole day I was just like groaning in fucking discomfort.
How many did you have? Or
Didn't even eat a lot. I had a burger and nuggets and fries.
At like what time?
1.
Damn. It does fuck up your day eating that late.
Fucks up your day. But I also, it's like I didn't really have a lot of time. Like I ate earlier in the day, and then I don't like eating too close to the shows. And then the Saturday late show was the one that I had. Like my family came and all my friends came, so we all went to the bar right next door and hung out.
Did Nate's family wind up coming?
His cousins and stuff came. Yeah,
How many of them?
6.
That's sick.
He's 6 cousins?
Well, like
No,
his
only
brother,
6
his
came.
cousins.
From both sides of his family? Like his mom's
I don't know,
sister's
actually, to
kids
be
and
honest.
his dad's?
I think it is both sides. Yeah, actually,
They're close?
I don't know. I think they just all live in there. They all live in Massachusetts.
And
Does
they all
Nate
love
still live there?
sass. Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole Nate family has remained in Massachusetts?
some of them.
Where did the others go?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Can you hit him up?
And ask where all of his cousins live.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering why there would be such a concentration in Massachusetts, and then a few have flaked off to go elsewhere.
It's probably just their jobs, right? But you could just find out.
Were they the older ones or the younger ones?
Or was their family
They're all
strife?
older.
No, but I'm saying in the hierarchy of the family tree, like did the older siblings remain, or were they the first ones to sort of break out, and then the younger ones stayed behind?
I don't know, dude. I have no idea. Like his 2 older siblings don't live in Massachusetts,
There you go. That's an answer.
but his younger sibling does, and then his cousins do.
And the cousins are probably the younger ones too.
I don't know. I don't know his cousins
And
that
where
well.
does his older siblings live?
I don't know. I don't really feel like discussing it, to be honest.
Well, you can just give the state.
No, I'm not going to.
I'm gonna guess Colorado.
No.
That'd be so nice.
You know the states though?
Yes.
Is it out west?
I will not say.
It's out west.
It's not. Depends on how you describe out west. What do you think out west is? You think like you're thinking like Colorado, Wyoming,
Montana, Wyoming.
No.
So Midwest.
No.
It's,
Ohio then?
No.
Why would they move to Ohio?
I have no idea.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Indiana? They're
No.
living in Indiana?
No, none of them live in the Midwest.
So it's like Virginia.
No.
Oh, West Virginia.
DC.
Nope.
Michigan is still the Midwest.
Are they
Nope.
Are they musical?
No.
No?
What do you mean musical? Like,
Tennessee
do they-
would
I was
make
gonna say
sense.
Nashville.
Yeah,
Did they move to
Nashville.
Nashville
No.
to pursue their musical interests?
Well, because then they'd be down there with Peters.
Peters doesn't live in Nashville. He lives in Colorado.
Anymore.
He gave up on the music.
He gave up on his music.
So like Louisiana?
Nope.
Oh, are they in the South?
No.
You said it depends on what you define as the West.
There's 2 of them, and I said, yeah, it depends on what you define as the West.
Are you
Texas
talking-
and California.
Are you talking West Coast?
There's one in West Coast.
Is it California?
No. Or yes, it is California.
NorCal or SoCal?
SoCal.
LA?
No.
Wow,
San Diego.
PB?
Yeah.
They live in San Diego.
One of them does.
Pacific Beach?
I don't know.
You have to find out. So
I'm
not
s-
Pacific Beach.
you notice-
Gaslight?
What?
La Jolla?
No.
If they
I
lived
don't think
in La
anyone
Jolla,
lives.
they'd
I
be
think only people that
raking
live
it
in La Jolla are old people.
And rich people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
La Jolla. Is that where you're going in San Diego? Or are you doing American Comedy Club?
I'm doing American Comedy Club.
Ah.
Wait, we're close to where the other one lives.
Yeah. We've got San Diego, and then the other one.
Because La
Texas?
Jolla is beautiful.
We said Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Texas.
Not Texas.
It's west. Both of them were west, but of course everything's west.
I
of
never
there.
said both of them are west.
Oh, so someone's in like Maine or something like that.
Nope.
New York?
Yes.
We did it.
Yeah, it took you guys like.
said-
You missed. You guys were leaving off the most populated cities.
Yes, but all
in the
that
country.
matters
So it's New
is
York
that
City.
you said you wouldn't tell us, and then we got it out of you so easily.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna go for another 30 minutes of just saying no.
You could have been like, "Stop! Don't ask anymore. I'm not telling you." But
I
then
didn't
you kept
care- I
being
didn't
like,
care
"Warmer,
enough.
warmer."
I didn't care
You were
enough to
teasing
do it.
us.
So
Well,
we
because
just-
at a
we
certain point,
doxed
I was
Nate's
like, how
family.
have they not guessed New York City yet?
I love that about you.
And they're in Manhattan.
One of them is, yeah.
You're like that. You're like the Austin Powers character. Excuse me. You're like the Will Ferrell character in Austin Powers when he's like, "I have this ridiculous condition where if someone asks me a question 3 times, I have to answer it. Where is Dr. Evil? I'll never tell. Where is Dr. Evil? I spit in your face. Damn, 3 times." He finds it irritating. You just couldn't handle us asking the questions.
Is it Upper West or Upper East?
I genuinely don't know.
So they're like downtown.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're going to be obviously south of Chelsea.
You can keep on listing neighborhoods. I don't know where they live.
I feel like I'm just getting to the bottom of it pretty quickly.
Do you think we could get Nate on the horn at some point? Not on the pod, just to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's that close now.
What do you mean he's that close now?
Well,
What
I know
does
that for a
mean?
long time he was kind of like
No.
fourth
Nate's
guy.
been one of my best friends since I was in middle school.
Yes, but it was always you, Bo, and Peters, and sometimes Nate.
Because Bo and Peters both lived in Colorado and Nate lived in Tampa.
Yeah, but you lived in New York, and you got the nod ahead of Nate to go out and hang out.
We all visited Nate in Tampa before we visited Colorado.
All three of you.
Yes.
But when you went to Colorado, Nate didn't come.
No.
So there you go.
Why?
Because all of them don't have jobs.
Why didn't Nate go?
Because he couldn't afford to go.
Exactly.
And I could afford to go to Colorado, and they could afford to go to Colorado because they already lived in Colorado.
Right.
I think you could have easily paid for Nate to go.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
And that shows Nate. He comes to support you, spends his hard-earned money on you. But when the time comes for you to spend some money on Nate,
The amount of money that I've spent on my friends is unbelievable.
Dude, the fact that the Nates all came out in force to your shows in Boston, and you couldn't just buy them a ticket or even use your companion certificate that you got.
I didn't know what 5 years ago when I went to Colorado for the first time. I didn't know Nate was going to come see me headline in Boston
with his whole family.
Yeah,
I knew.
no, you didn't.
I knew
You
Nate.
didn't even know who he was.
I know
years
the
ago.
type of guy he is.
You don't.
What if it was just Barstool Nate? I'm talking about this whole time. Sass is just like shirtlessly best friends with him as they like canoe in Wyoming.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid weekend. Boston was great. Very fun. Very fun to see people.
Did you go out to any restaurants or anything like that?
No, we stayed. I guess the first night, so we got in Thursday. I think we just got food at the club or something. I forget what we did Thursday, but Friday we got lobster. I got a lobster roll somewhere. Like we went down towards the water. It was so goddamn cold,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
it was
been
so
so cold.
fucking windy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like me, Derek, and Mook, and we got food. And then I was like, I gotta find Jewel Pod somewhere, even though I know they're not legal in Massachusetts. So me and Mook were like, Mook was like, I'll go with you. And we like Ubered to some area, went to a smoke shop. They didn't have them. And then we walked, and it was so unbelievably windy.
Were you
and
wearing
cold.
this?
No, I think I had another jacket on.
You did?
Yeah.
Because you wear this as your warm outfit.
No, I don't.
I've seen you do it, and I couldn't believe it.
No, but I don't do that.
What's your warm jacket?
The other jacket that I wear all the time. The
Patriots?
black one. It has like a white fur collar. It's reversible.
This doesn't sound real.
I don't think I've ever
It's
seen
in
it.
my bag right now. I mean, are you out of your... This is what pisses me. This grinds my gears so fucking much when people say I wear the same thing every day. And it's like every time they say I wear the same thing every day, it's a different outfit.
I'm not even kidding you. Can you break out that jacket and we can decide if we've ever seen this before? Because the way you're describing it, I have no
The
idea.
white fur coat.
It's not fur. It's just... It's fleece.
Sounds
There's
like
a
you bought it
fleece
in
inside.
Aspen or something.
No, I actually don't even know where I got the jacket.
Okay, can we see it?
No.
I'll repack your bag.
No.
What do you mean? Why? Then I think
Because
you're
I want
lying.
you to try a little bit. Try to go into the memory.
All right, I will.
Take a dive.
Is it
The
sort of
long
wind
white
resistant?
fur coat.
It's
Is it made of Dalmatians?
Man, you guys are. I think we might have to take Wednesday episode off. You guys are grinding my gears today. You know the jacket that I'm talking about.
No, we
Yes,
don't, man.
yes,
I'm
you
not
do.
even fucking with you at all.
Yes, you do. I've literally worn
You
it.
wore it on the sideline of Super Bowl III. I remember.
Hmm.
I wore it to New Orleans, and then I
Yeah.
had to carry it around because it was so hot out.
Is it down? Is it a down-filled jacket?
No,
Sort of a windbreaker.
it's a thick jacket that is reversible.
I think it's equally crazy for you to just go to an area to try and find jewel pods.
We didn't go to an area. We went to a smoke shop.
By the way,
Why would we just go to an area?
do you guys know this jacket he's talking about?
Yes.
You know? Owen, do you know that jacket?
The only other jacket that I have worn in the last 3 months.
I think you're just describing it funny.
I don't think I'm describing it funny at all. I said it's a black jacket and the collar has a fleece white inside and it's reversible. And on the other inside part, the body, it's green. And it's a Nautica jacket.
I'm going to need to see it.
You're not going to. So that's on. Yeah, I have my Patriots windbreaker,
Yeah,
of course.
but that's not warm.
That's not warm at all, no.
Got it.
It's like a napkin.
Mm-hmm.
That's more just for style points.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the Duxbury Golf.
Yeah, style points.
I've thought that was Dartmouth golf this entire time.
Everyone comes up to me and they're like, Dartmouth golf? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I have a Dartmouth golf shirt
I thought
with my
you got
name
it
on
from
it.
some friend
With
like
my-
Nate.
With my last name on the side of it.
Never saw that. And if I did, I assumed it was a software company.
You must have just got that stitch onto your arm.
Yeah, I did. I
All
bought a Duxbury golf jacket and then I went home and stitched my name on.
You had your mom personalize it.
That is a sick coat. Now that I know it's truly yours.
Yeah, it is.
I like that.
Not bad.
That's cool.
Very nice and waspy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to you walked around. Did you finally find your jewel pods?
No, we didn't. But we went to that restaurant. It's like 75 something. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Hard 75.
Lobster roll was dog shit.
Mm. If
You ever get a
wanna-
lobster roll where you're like pumped for a lobster roll and
Of
then
course.
it shows up and it's just mayo and fucking celery?
Yeah,
And
not
it's
great.
ice cold.
If you want
It's
a
like it's
really
been sitting in a freezer for the last day.
If you want a really good lobster roll in Boston, it's within walking distance from Boston.
Yeah.
And it's called
Luke's Lobster
I used to play lacrosse against him in high school.
against Luke.
He's from Maine.
Really?
Luke Holden. He went to Cape Elizabeth.
Isn't there a Luke's Lobster in New York
There's
too?
hundreds of
Yeah.
them, dude.
He's
So
a good
doing
egg.
well.
They're doing the best.
He's
Is
good at
he-
math.
I was going to ask if he's good at math.
I would have to assume he's good at math. But he's a Maine boy, and he took Maine lobster and he created an incredible, easy lobster roll, simple company.
It's
And
pretty sick.
They have like 95 locations.
Yeah, people probably thought he was fucking nuts when he did that.
I
They
wonder-
were like, "You're going to open up another lobster place in Maine?"
No, but I don't. Well, their marquee one or their headquarters restaurant or whatever is in Portland.
Yeah, it's a
but
tough competition. Dude. It's tough thing to get into in Maine.
they make a good lobster roll.
Yeah.
And also everyone knows he's a local boy.
Has
He's a
he-
lefty. They lit us up.
Does he farm the lobster himself?
They own. I think that's a big part of their business is that they own the lobster kind of operation. They're vertically integrated? Do they own all parts of the assembly line, supply line,
That's crazy.
or is it horizontally integrated? I can never remember.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll look this up.
Some good business terminology, it sounds like. But just
Math. It's math shit.
but don't they? So lobsters, do they like factory farm lobsters like they do with salmon,
Um,
or like is there like,
I don't know.
or are you just setting more traps than anybody else?
In Massachusetts, I know there's there's traps everywhere.
Vertical integration is a business strategy where a company controls more of its supply chain. So it's like if Amazon, for example, right? What they did was they bought up all their own shipping trucks
Yeah,
and warehouses so that they wouldn't have to rely on UPS and FedEx.
yeah.
And that's how they managed to somehow find a way to get goods to you within a day
Mhm.
that doesn't fry their sales and margins.
I see. Interesting.
You learned something.
Yeah, but when we were walking through Boston trying to find the jewel pods, it was so windy. And in my head, I was going, this is definitely windier than Chicago. And I've had this thought before walking through Boston about how windy it is. And then I looked it up. Chicago's not even top 10 windiest states or cities in the country.
No, it's not named
Yeah.
the Windy City as a result of its wind. Do you know where that name came from?
No.
Chicago Fire?
No.
When?
It had to do with the Democratic National Convention, which was held there, and all the
Libs.
politics, and the people were talking in a long-winded way, and it was like the talk of politics as being coined as wind.
Mm.
So it's like a derogatory term.
It's like a tongue-in-cheek term.
Really.
Yeah.
Now I
Interesting.
learned something.
Now I learned something
I'm
too.
definitely taking that fucking stat to somebody. I'm about to call my fucking parents or something.
Boston's number 6, if anyone's curious.
Give
A
me
lot
the
of
top
the
5.
top ones are in like Texas.
Oh
Believe it or
yeah,
not.
tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
I wonder why they get so much damn wind in Texas. I guess Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
Tornadoes coming through.
Boston is like I've always thought that Boston was like colder than New York and Chicago. I
Is
feel
it
like the
colder?
coldest I've ever been has been in Boston every single time.
Yeah, but you probably spent more time in. Or are you saying Boston or Massachusetts?
I'm saying Boston.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I mean, Massachusetts as a whole is cold.
I don't know if I'm right about this now. That is one of the explanations, but another is the weather. They say there's like 4 parts of the etymology. One has to do with the 1893 World's Fair.
I was pretty sure it had something to do with the wind. Because everyone talks about the wind.
didn't push
coming off
back.
of- well, I mean, he
I
seemed pretty
remember
confident.
learning in AP US history that it had more to do with the politics and how people were talking about they were like braggadocious or something like that. Now I
think you
can't
got
remember.
bamboozled.
These blustering politicians.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Wow. Now I don't know what to believe. Because I was
mean,
ready to
Chicago's
take that. I was ready
windy.
to call my dad.
Chicago's definitely a windy city.
The best lobster roll in Boston that I've had is at Neptune Oyster Co., which is in the West End, but barely in the West End. And it's amazing. You do have to get in line. It usually takes about 45 minutes standing there. So with your, imaginary coat, I don't know if you're going to be warm enough.
I don't know if anyone was waiting in line. It was so goddamn cold.
Here, I'm going to give you 3 types of lobster rolls, filling wise. I want to know which one you prefer.
Good game.
The one where it's so full that lobster is literally falling onto whatever plate or
Love
tray,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just full enough that you kind of have to squeeze it around and contain everything, but it's enough where it's not going to fall out if you have a good balance, or where it's like pretty roll heavy and it's just like the kind of lining.
Like the one that I had in New Orleans.
Yes.
Remember that one?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that was
what
a
I'm referencing.
Slim Jim of lobster. It was literally, the bun was not separated at all.
It kissed
It
at the
was
top.
literally just a line of lobster. It was great. Dude next to me was furious though, because he got it too, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna need something more than that." Remember?
And then they were like, "Sir, it's going to take 45 minutes to get
Yeah.
another order into our kitchen. It's so backed up." And he stormed out. He was furious.
He was so mad.
It's great. I love it when you guys reminisce on your great time in New Orleans.
It was a great lobster roll. Way better than the lobster roll I had in Boston.
I will
damn near
say,
didn't finish mine.
to answer your question, it's bulging,
Yeah,
spilling lobster meat.
because
for sure.
when you have that, you could just move it off, eat the lobster roll, and then eat the lobster after. You got more lobster left over.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best lobster roll I've ever had is at Eventide in Portland, Maine. It's the brown butter lobster roll made on a bao bun, a steamed bao bun. It's incredible. It's beyond belief. And
Wow.
they're not that big, so you can eat like 3 or 4 of them.
Mm.
Wow. How much lobster do they put on?
Not a ton, but it's just beyond belief.
I don't know what my top lobster roll is. Probably, I think I've had some good ones in like Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard.
Nantucket? How many
Definitely had some
times have
good
you been
ones
to
on the Cape.
Nantucket?
People say that Red's in Wiscasset has a really good lobster roll. There's always a big line there too.
Interesting. I've been to Nantucket probably 3 times, maybe 4.
Nate?
I've been to Martha's Vineyard probably 3 times, maybe 4.
With the family or with Nate?
I went to Martha's Vineyard with my family when I was younger. We used to go because my grandparents grew up, like my mom's from the Cape. So we used to just go like on day trips to like Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket.
That's cool.
Take the ferry?
Yeah, it was fun.
The ferry's nice.
Yeah.
If you made, oodles and oodles of money was no object, and you could buy a summer home.
Yeah.
Where would you buy it?
Martha's Vineyard.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Class.
Yeah. I always liked Martha's Vineyard way more than Nantucket.
Why?
I feel like it's more like I feel like Nantucket's very like shoppy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like it's
Martha's
like a lot
Vineyard
of it's
is-
a lot of like walking around and looking at like, look at this piece.
Mhm.
Maybe that's just because I grew up with 3 sisters and all girl cousins, but like my entire childhood was just walking around and like sitting on a stool at like an Abercrombie.
Wait, did you get it?
I don't know.
You still didn't say it right.
I don't think I did say it right, but I'm not going to try again.
No, that
Whatever.
one's out
Last
of your
thing I need is
reach.
another L. But yeah, we used to like go to like Nantucket and shit, and I would just have to like stand outside while they would like shop.
And what's
for
Martha's
hours.
Vineyard like? I've been in Nantucket. I haven't been in Martha's Vineyard.
I just remember liking the beaches in Martha's Vineyard more.
They're-
Stellar waves.
They're a little quieter, right? It's a little more grown up, a little more classy,
a little bit classier,
less
Stellar waves.
touristy.
The waves in Martha's Vineyard are.
Stellar.
I just remember having one of those body surfing waves, and I hit it and I scorpioned, full scorpion. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, go over.
My feet are in front of my face, and not like this, like around. And I remember I was underwater and the wave was so big and I caught it too low. Maybe I caught it too high that it just launched me down. And I remember like hitting like legitimately like big boulders underwater, just getting thrown around. And I genuinely believed, I was like, I'm going to die right now.
Yeah.
And then I got out of the water and I think I was like screaming, crying.
Do you know that that's the third most common cause of paralysis in the United States?
Is
what?
body surfing?
Is being tossed on your neck in too shallow water body surfing.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
What are the first two? Car crash?
Number 2 is diving into pools that are too shallow and breaking your neck on the bottom.
You almost did that.
Yep. And number 1 is car accidents.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh my God.
It is like a shocking feeling.
Yeah.
Like there's really no other way to replicate that feeling.
It's so much more dangerous to the degree that, body surfing is so fun, but it's rare that you find water deep enough that the wave is breaking
Oh yeah.
without a fear of being tossed on your neck
Yeah.
down below.
But there is nothing better than getting like a good wave and then going all the way up
All
to the
way.
shore.
You got your arm out. Well, that's not what I mean. Just out ahead of you like that.
No, but it is nothing better than when you get up, like you're like the ride's over and you open your eyes and you're just on the beach.
Yeah. You
You're
gotta
at your
stand
chair.
up, and it's like you gotta walk back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
Such a good feeling.
That's so good. And you're going so long that you think, boy, I need to breathe.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna bail.
No,
'cause
I'm not bailing on this
wave's
wave.
taking me all
Yeah.
the way to the picnic blanket.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember when I was younger and me and my dad were body surfing. I remember there was this one dude, bald, so he moves better in the water. But he had this technique that we had never seen before. Me and my dad were mostly just going in like swimming and then catching it. He would go both arms and then dive in, and he would just sail back to the shore.
Yeah.
I mean, a true professional.
The really good ones kind of go at an angle, the way that a surfer does. And they go one arm out, I think, and one arm back. That's what I've seen.
That's amazing.
I always preferred body surfing to like boogie boarding. Boogie boarding, I always felt like the risk of injury was way higher.
Oh, I disagree.
I feel like I would get on the boogie board and I feel like I would catch the wave too high and I'd be like above and I'd be like, I know this is about to be bad. And then I would like get launched and then the board's like smacking you in the head while you're underwater.
You're not attaching the ripcord to your
No, I would attach,
wrist?
which was almost a mistake. Sometimes I wish I didn't attach because it was
No.
just banging me up the whole way down.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got
And
to
I would
go
also
find
get
it though.
a killer rash on my belly.
You didn't wear a rash guard?
No,
I had to.
I never did.
Sun protection.
Fuck the good old days.
I got to get in the ocean this summer. I didn't hit the ocean once last summer.
Are you for real? Dude, this past summer was my record for number of days that I
Really?
went swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, I didn't hit it once.
By far my record.
I got to get in.
I had probably like 60 days
Really?
What?
that I swam in salt water
That's
this
crazy.
past summer. Yeah.
The last time I went in the ocean was because I always have been anti the ocean because I'm afraid of sharks. And but the last time I went in the ocean, I think I was in California. And I
60
remember
days feels high.
And I remember it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember I was like, I don't want to go in the water. And then I got in the water and I didn't get out of the water for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's the best.
I was just by myself, just body surfing for hours.
Mhm.
So fun.
I used to, when I was a kid, I would put on a snorkel
Yeah.
mask, or not even a snorkel, just the mask.
Yeah.
And I would just sort of be in the shallows of a calm beach
Yeah.
where the water was sort of just pushing you back and forth like this, looking at shells and little tiny sea life and things like that, sometimes truly for hours, to the point that looking back, I don't know why my parents didn't check in on me
Yeah.
because I was floating face down.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I
were
don't
probably
know.
singing loud enough that they could hear you from the shore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Singing full voice into your snorkel.
Yeah,
I
that was
always
me.
believed that if I stayed in the water long enough with a mask on, that I would find cash that had fallen out of someone's pocket floating.
Did you ever?
One time in a pool, but it was only $5.
Probably like someone probably was like, we got to get him out of the water, and they just threw a $5 bill in
They
there.
could. But the reason that I had this belief was that one time I was on a co-family trip with one of my sister's friends
Yeah.
family, and then they had that girl's family had younger sisters, and one of them found a $50 bill floating.
Damn.
And from that day on, I always believed that the ocean was this treasure trove of cash.
Yeah.
That's
waiting
what
to be
pirates thought
found.
too, for real.
Yeah.
They were
And
like positive.
I
of it.
spent an inordinate amount of time following through on this. It was my way of combing the beach with a metal detector, I think.
Because that's where the metal detector guys are scared of the water. They won't go in and go the extra mile.
Right.
She probably just found a wallet, though, took the money out, chucked the wallet.
Dude, whatever it was, I mean, $50 at that time, like I'd never seen a $50 bill before. I was probably 8, 9.
Yeah.
Do you know how many? That's like 2 mouths of teeth. that
$50
you'd have to lose
Yeah, it's a lot of
to
money.
get that much money.
Yeah.
And that was really at that time my primary way of generating income was losing teeth.
I wasn't even getting cash for teeth. My parents were giving me like fucking Hot Wheels and shit like that.
Well, that's pretty nice. That's what I would buy with the money.
I think I got cash for teeth once, and then I never did it. Like then I would get like occasionally I would get like a couple like quarters.
I would get
And I'd be like, I don't even want
silver
I don't even
dollars
want this.
or the 50-cent pieces, which by the way, now today create my favorite ball markers on golf courses.
a 50-cent piece.
Yeah, those are great.
I love a good ball marker.
I like to throw a Sacagawea down or a poker chip.
Poker chip's a good move.
But poker chips make it harder for people if you're in someone's line to putt,
Oh, good call.
because that creates a ridge.
Yeah, the best ones are just the small plastic ones.
No, 50
Yes.
cent piece. No one's going to tell you to move it necessarily. And if they do, they're not as angry as they would be if it were a poker chip.
And I got to get back on the links too this summer.
Yeah, represent Duxbury.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely
I
going to be a
love
video.
that. I love that feeling when someone's like, could you move your marker? And then you put the putter down, you move it a
Yeah.
couple spaces.
One head.
Yeah.
Want me to go left or right?
Yeah. Up to you, brother. Your lie.
The series that I want to do with you guys is breaking 100, but it doesn't limit to 18 holes of golf. And so it's like, how many holes does it take you until you get to 100?
That's kind of cool.
I don't know. I feel like that would be just 18 for me.
Yeah, that would be for you.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, definitely.
You
There's
suck
no way
now?
I'm shooting under 100 right now.
Really?
I mean,
Ugh.
it's if you play by the actual. The
Let's
thing is, a lot of people
handicap
don't
it
play
then.
by the actual rules of golf. So a lot of people like I remember like being in high school and people were like, "Yeah, I just shot a 73," and you're like, "Really?" And then it's like, but they don't count like the out of bounds and like the
That's ridiculous.
shooting out of hazards and stuff like that.
That's crazy. I don't know anybody who would tell me they've shot 73 and not play out of bounds.
Yeah, but you're also not 13.
Sure. Fair point. How do you know?
But like like people that play golf casually, like they're usually chopping a couple
yeah,
strokes off their final
they
card.
are.
Me,
You-
I play with full honesty.
It doesn't bother me. Do you know why?
Why?
It bothers a lot of people, but it doesn't bother me. Because to me now, my handicap, the whole purpose of my handicap is in order to play in, tournaments or whatever, fun tournaments at
Yeah.
clubs, or to play for money against other people.
Yeah.
And I don't want my handicap to be low.
Yeah.
So I put my scores in honestly.
Yeah.
I don't sandbag. I don't inflate my handicap unnaturally, which is
Yeah.
what some people do. And I think that's probably even worse, honestly. But, if I hit it out of bounds, I'm taking the proper strokes for that.
Yeah, but I think also people don't realize it's a lot more strokes than they think, the
Well,
penalties.
my point being, though, that people who do, put their scores in, if you end up playing them in a tournament, they're fucked.
Yeah. Have you ever
Because-
played in a tournament, though, with someone that cheats?
Yeah, I've called someone out before.
Really?
For it. Well, yeah, it was a big tournament.
Yeah.
No way. What'd they say?
It was a basketball teams of 2. I mean, it was the Invitational. It was the tournament. And it was the last hole. We were tied. And the member's partner it was a par 5. The member's partner hit his second shot into the fescue on the right.
Yeah.
And he went to go identify his ball, even though, it was pretty clear that his
That ball's gone.
No. It was just it wasn't in like shit.
Oh, okay.
It was on a dune that had, fescue.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you could see it.
Yeah.
But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to identify, if you need to identify your ball, you're supposed to pick it up, look at it, and then put it back down exactly the way that it was.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to improve your lie
No.
in identifying your ball. And he went over. First of all, I didn't even think he needed to identify his ball. I think he said something like, "Oh, I think that's it." And I was like, "That's your ball. Great."
Yeah.
Because I was helping him look.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with him.
Mhm.
And he picked it up, looked at it, put it down. Then he picked it up again and moved it and then set it down.
Mm.
At which point I was like, whoa.
And even if you're dropping, you're supposed to drop.
No, but he's not supposed to drop. It
I
wasn't
know,
out
I'm
of
just saying,
bounds.
but like even if he was supposed to drop.
You
never displace.
He so flagrantly improved his lie
Yeah.
after identifying his ball in front of me. I'm talking, I'm with him.
Yeah.
And it was hugely important. And I was like, well, you can't, I said something like, well, you can't keep improving your lie. And he threw a fit.
I'm sure.
And he goes, you know what? Fine, I'm out of the hole. And he picked up his ball and put it in his pocket and then marched off, which meant he knew.
Oh, yeah, he knew.
He didn't protest.
Yeah.
He was mad that I was like
Yeah.
calling it straight. But this was,
Dude, I
there's
genuinely
money on the line. There's a hat pool. We put,
Yeah.
you don't fuck around.
I genuinely
tournament.
think that when people play golf, like for the most part, like I know you play golf like seriously.
Yeah.
But like I think most people probably aren't even aware that they're probably shooting like 10 strokes higher than what they think they are.
Yeah.
Because of all the shit that they do.
Right.
Like that's like a lot of people just play like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into it like when I did tournaments, dude, like I did tournaments for 3 years in high school and then I did them over the summer too. And everyone cheats.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about it before,
Yeah,
but like
sure.
if like say you're playing and you're in a foursome and you all suck and you all got like a triple bogey on like a par 5, you get one dude every single time without a doubt, one dude would be like pars all around.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone would have to be like, dude, we can't do that. Like it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, I will say
we're knocking like 3 strokes a hole off.
this is the one thing that makes me happy that I didn't really pursue individual sports more, because it's true, and this happens in tennis as well. Up to a certain age, if
Yeah.
you're playing competitive tennis, you're calling your own lines.
Yeah, yeah,
And people fuck each other.
yeah,
And it can be so egregious.
yeah,
Because, what's the point in being honest? Integrity of the sport? Great.
Yeah.
Like, I have a scholarship on the line.
yeah,
I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, so golf, tennis are big sports where that happens, where you don't have a referee.
no, yeah. It is very funny. Like it's crazy how often people cheat at golf.
Yeah.
But you guys, thank goodness you guys are whistleblowers.
I mean, I'm not 100% a whistleblower, but
Honest Abes.
like the lie, I would have let that slide.
I also don't know you wouldn't have. Not if
I-
you knew the stakes of this tournament.
Yeah,
And you were still playing golf to the degree that you
Yeah.
were playing in this tournament and cared. You wouldn't have.
Yeah,
I promise you.
I definitely called people out in high school, but
There-
like I would never call out like when I was a senior.
If you
I
called people out in
was-
high school, you would have called this guy out. I promise you.
Yeah, you're probably right. When
There you
I
go.
was a senior in high school, I was like kind of being rotated out of the starting lineup. It was because only 6 guys would play, but there'd be 8 people on varsity.
And you were tapped out potentially.
And I was like 7 or 8 pretty much every single time.
Bubble
But so
guy.
because the coach was like, we already suck. Like we were having a bad year. And he was like, we suck. I'm gonna start having the younger guys start.
Yeah.
It's because there's no reason. Like I'm not going to college for golf. There was really no reason for me to be.
Sure.
And
did that hurt?
No, I didn't care. I was terrible. But
You sure, bro? You could talk about it.
like I wasn't terrible. Like I could shoot like low 40s, but like there were kids on like one of the kids on our team when I was a sophomore went to like Notre Dame for golf.
Wow.
Yeah. So like there was good kids, but yeah, it got to the point where we were like me and some of the other seniors would have to like compete to see who would start.
Mm.
And there were a couple times where some of those boys were doing some trickery.
Cocaine?
And you'd have to step in and be like, dude,
Not cool.
yeah.
So you did care.
Yeah, I definitely think I told on someone to the captain at one point, for
Wow.
sure.
That's not a guy who doesn't care.
What did you say?
I texted him and I was like, dude, I was like, because I was good friends with the captain, and I was like, dude, we're doing these like tournaments to see who's getting in. I was like, everyone is cheating.
And you gave him a name.
I don't think I gave him names. I think I just said, I was like, dude, everyone's cheating.
Yeah.
Did you
I was
say
like,
you
I
were
came
cheating?
in. No, because I came in with like a 48 and the other 2 dudes were like 37.
Yeah.
And I was like, neither of them have the ability to shoot 1 over par ever.
That's crazy.
So, sometimes you gotta, like, I didn't want to be like, I didn't cheat, but I didn't want to be like, I'm that much worse than these guys.
Mhm. Right.
That was more what I was saving.
Why
My
don't you
reputation.
You should have started cheating then.
No. There's nothing that feels good about cheating in golf. Like you get to the end and you're like, oh wow, I shot par. But it's like, no, you didn't. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, in your head, you're like, I didn't come close to shooting par.
Right.
I was closer to 50 than I was to par.
Ethical king.
What?
You're ethical.
Yeah.
I respect it.
We
All
did the
about
club
respect.
championship qualifier a couple years ago. I mean, this is probably 7 years ago now, 6 years ago. And J.R. Smith was in my flight.
Yeah.
He's a golfer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think this was, maybe he'd retired at this point. Actually, maybe he was still playing. I don't know. Either way. And the top 8 guys qualified. We had to play from the tips, which is hard. And it was stroke play, ball and hole, caddies. So there's nowhere to cheat. You cannot cheat. You cannot hide. And
Is that not what you guys do in those tournaments? Is it typically best ball?
well, I think after that, if you qualified for the club championship, then there was quarterfinal match, semifinal match. Both of those were match play.
Mm-hmm.
And then the championship, the top 2 guys did a 36-hole stroke play final,
Jesus.
which is crazy. But I qualified for the club championship in the qualifier. Out of a field of 16, I came in 7th.
Yeah.
From the tips, shot 85, ball and hole, which I was pretty fucking happy with. JR did not qualify, beat him.
Damn.
I think he finished 9th or something.
Pro athlete.
Yeah. And
That's
now
pretty
he's
sick.
I think now he's a pretty spectacular golfer. But
He played college golf too for a little bit after.
that was like high stakes, ball and hole. You got to make 3-footers.
Yeah.
No one's giving you a putt. You'll if you miss a 3-footer, you want to die.
Yeah.
And from the tips, tournament pressure, shot 85. I was pretty happy with that.
3-footer. If you hit it, you get $20 million. If you miss it, year in jail. You boys taking that?
I'm great from 3 feet.
Depends on the 3-footer.
All right, 5-footer.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
I think I'd rather take a 10-footer than a 5-footer.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
For $20 million.
Oh no, I got a good long putt. That was the saver of my game. Was my chipping and my putting.
I'm really trying to make us into the next foreplay. We're just going to lift their questions.
I know.
Talking golf.
Oh, I would dust all of those fools.
Here we go.
Nah, I wouldn't. I played with Frankie. He was pretty good.
He's fucking good.
Yeah. I thought Frankie was going to be a lot worse than he was.
Oh, he's
And
the
then I
real
was
deal.
like, I guess it makes sense. He plays golf every single day on like the hardest courses in the country.
Yeah.
I played on a public course.
That course he plays that thing on is not easy.
Which one? The one in Long Island?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
That was not an easy course.
No.
Yeah, it's tough.
The greens are hard.
Fast.
Yeah, very fast. Colonial Springs.
I got to get to the range. I'll go to the range. I'll once we get warmer out, I'll start going to the range, and then we'll do a video on golfing.
I hit on the simulator this weekend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How was it?
Good. Got my new TaylorMade P790s. Club. I was Fit 4 by TaylorMade. I hit a bunch
Blades?
of those. No
Blades.
No, they're cavity back. I'm not good enough to hit blades.
Nah.
It'd be ridiculous for me to have them. But I also had the new QI35 driver. All these new clubs. I had to take the plastic off, and I felt bad taking
Why?
the plastic because they're so pure. They're so beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's like when you get like a new like TV and you gotta
and I'm
rip
hitting
the
them
strips off.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or a new iPhone, you're gonna put
Yeah.
thumbprints all over
Yeah.
it. But I hated hitting the turf below and scraping up the beautiful heads of the
Oh
clubs.
yeah. I remember when I first got I got a nice set of clubs, and I remember after every time I would play, I would clean them for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah, with a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be like in the kitchen with like soap and water, like scrubbing them
Yeah.
down.
that's what you do as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then eventually one day you don't clean them, and then you never clean them again.
never. You're like, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's literally like that's how I am about work. That's how I was about working out too. It was like I worked out every day, and then one day I didn't, and then I just never did again. I was like, well, I guess I'm never gonna do that again, because I realized it's way easier to not.
It is so much easier to never do it.
But yeah,
can't-
we should do a golf video,
Yeah.
because when we played in St. Louis, that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, we played with Andrew.
Colin.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
What's the premise of the video going to be?
I think if I train hard enough, I think we could do one that where it's
You're
just.
not going to train hard enough.
I will.
You won't switch seats that are 4 seats away on an airplane.
So what's the handicapping?
We'll handicap it.
No, I don't want to handicap it. I'm thinking we do this like a while from now
In the summer,
in the summer.
at the end of the summer.
In the summer where it's like nothing's going on, like there's no good sports on.
It's just, how are you going to prepare? Where are you going to train?
Just my living room.
You're not going to play more golf than Francis this summer.
No, I don't think I need to work on. I mean, you've seen my irons. I'm strong with my irons.
You're surprisingly better at golf than I would have thought.
Oh, I got a beautiful swing like butter. Anytime my swing goes on the internet, people are just like, damn, like butter. I just have to work. I just have to get back on my chipping and my putting game.
So just 18, just a pure 18.
Pure 18.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you see me when I perfect my chips, dangerous.
But I just don't want the video to be over halfway through.
it won't be. Because I'll crumble for sure. That's what I was gonna say when you were talking about the guy spazzing out. I was like, golf like brings out emotions in people that like they don't even know they have. Like I've like come to the verge of tears on the course before.
Yeah. I threw a putter in a quarry
Yeah.
once.
It gets like, dude,
Well, you become
the thing
very
that you were
fragile
saying,
on
the thing
golf
that you were
course.
saying about how there was no gimmies in putting, I would do tournaments where it's like the last hole and like the entire team and families are watching, and I 3-putted from like 1 foot,
Yeah.
and you have to count all of those strokes. Like it is devastating.
Yeah.
Like you just lost your team the tournament
Right.
because you just 3-putted under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
The worst was the tee off though. They call your name.
Harry.
Harry settle, and then you go and you just fucking you just eat the grass 3 feet before you hit the ball. It rolls 2 feet.
And you just play it from there.
You gotta play it from there.
Tough.
All right, solid episode, long episode. Hopefully you like golf. If you don't like golf, maybe skip the second hour.
I thought you were talking about the next like 3 months. Someone found their new fixation.
I'll be in New Brunswick, New Jersey, March 8th with Harry. I'll be.
I'm not headlining, so
No.
someone was like saying that I'm doing like 15 to 20 minutes
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in Providence, April 8th and 9th. We canceled the Thursday show, so your tickets will be, if you're able, will be moved to the Friday or Saturday show. Just, I guess, reach out to the club. whatever, figure that out. So yeah, that's
And
me.
I am in Atlanta next weekend with a New Brunswick show coming up, like Francis said.
I'm in
Where else
Atlanta
am I?
this weekend.
That's what I just said.
5 shows. I guess it's very far from Atlanta. It's in some other suburb, like 30 minutes away. But please come.
We'll get some tickets sold for you. We'll probably, make a little golf video or something.
Yeah,
Sell you some
it'll be a
tickets.
good time. harrisotawebsite.com. Please come.
Punchup.live/Francis Ellis. Thank you.